Hello friends, welcome to English to Tech by Dr. Vijay Shirsak. Friends, in our earlier videos, we have discussed Chaucer as the writer and the contribution of Geoffrey Chaucer to the development of English literature. We have discussed that Geoffrey Chaucer is known as the father of English literature. It was Geoffrey Chaucer who first started writing in English. That is, he gave justice to English as a language of literature, and therefore he is rightly considered a father of English literature. Now, friends, in this video, we shall discuss Geoffrey Chaucer's major works. Friends, Chaucer is considered one of the greatest English poets of the Middle Ages. He wrote several notable works during his lifetime, and we shall discuss his major notable works. Friends, whenever we take the name of Geoffrey Chaucer, there is one title which always pops up in our mind, and that title is the Canterbury Tales. That is, whenever we have Geoffrey Chaucer in our mind, at that time there is this title, the Canterbury Tales, which pops up immediately in our mind. That is, Chaucer's famous work is the Canterbury Tales. It is a masterpiece by Geoffrey Chaucer. Actually, the Canterbury Tales is a poem, and it is a collection of stories. And these stories are told by different members of a group of pilgrims traveling to the shrine of Thomas Becket in Canterbury. The tales are in different genres and styles. That is, two tales in the Canterbury Tales are in the form of prose, and the remaining tales are in the poetic form. All these tales offer a panoramic view of medieval British society, and they satirize the vices and virtues of this medieval British society. Actually, the Canterbury Tale is unfinished kind of work. That is, Chaucer did not give or tell all the tales. Only limited number of participants or travelers have told their tales. They have narrated their tales. But whatever the tales are there, all the existing tales show Chaucer's skill in characterization, narrative, and social commentary. Friends, whenever we take the names of Canterbury Tales, whenever we have this title in our mind, at that time we have certain characters in our minds. That is, it reminds us certain characters like the wife of Bath and the squire. The characters in the Canterbury Tales are the knight, the partner, the wife of Bath, the miller, the host, the narrator, who is the poet, that is Chaucer himself, then the squire, the prioress, the monk, the friar, the reeve, and the parson. And all these characters in the Canterbury Tales come from different state of the society. They have different professions, They represent different professions in the medieval British society. And the medieval British society is satirized by the poet Geoffrey Chaucer through all these characters. In this, so friends, the first and foremost work, the most famous work by Geoffrey Chaucer is the Canterbury Tales. The next important work by Geoffrey Chaucer is Troilus and Cressida. Troilus and Cressida is a long narrative poem. It is set during the Trojan War and it tells us the tragic love story of Troilus and Cressida. Troilus is a Trojan prince and Cressida is a widow. This poem, Troilus and Cressida, deals with the themes of love, fate, and human condition. It is based on the classical sources, particularly Boccaccio's Il Filostrato. That is, Troilus and Cressida is modeled on, it is based on Boccaccio's Il Filostrato. But friends, Chaucer does not accept that theme as it is. He does not borrow the material from Boccaccio's work as it is. He makes some changes. He adds his own distinctive style and characterization. In this way, friends, Troilus and Cressida is a long narrative poem by Geoffrey Chaucer and it deals with the themes of love, fate, and the human condition. And it tells us the story, the love story, the tragic love story of Troilus and Cressida. In this way, this is the second major work by Geoffrey Chaucer. Friends, now let's move to the next work by Geoffrey Chaucer, and that is the Book of Duchess. The Book of the Duchess. This is also known as the Dream of Chaucer, and it is an elegiac poem. It is an elegy which mourns the death of Blanche, the wife of John of Gaunt. Here, Chaucer portrays himself, he depicts himself as the narrator. That is, Chaucer himself narrates the story. Chaucer once falls in a dream and he encounters a grieving knight. And in this way, that narration of that story takes place. Here in this book, the Book of the Duchess, there is a fine blending of the elements of romance, dream vision, and allegory. It demonstrates Chaucer's versatility. In this way, friends, this book, The Chaucer of the Duchess, is well-known work by Geoffrey Chaucer, and it is an elegy. It mourns the death of Blanche, the wife of John of Gaunt, and here Chaucer is the narrator, and there is a fine blending of romance, dream vision, and allegory here in this book, in this poem. The next important work by Chaucer is The House of Fame. The House of Fame is a dream vision poem which follows the narrator's journey to the House of Fame. There, he witnesses the whimsical and capricious nature of fame. Here in this work, The House of Fame, Chaucer explores the themes of truth, rumor, and the power of words, and he satirizes the desire for recognition and celebrity. Friends, if you observe my lectures properly, you will notice one thing, and that is the word satire recurs in my speech because satire is the main weapon used by Geoffrey Chaucer to mock at the contemporary society. He ridicules at the contemporary society through the characters and different types of images and literary devices. In short, satire is his weapon. He uses it as a literary device in his writings, and the House of Fame is one of such examples. The Canterbury Tales is a glaring example of Geoffrey Chaucer's satire or mocking at the present society, the contemporary society. The next important work, the next major work by Geoffrey Chaucer is Parliament of Fools. Parliament of Fools is written in the form of a debate, and it is a debate among birds. It is a debate among birds choosing their mates on Valentine's Day. This is the first book in English literature which celebrates Valentine's Day. This book or this work deals with the themes of love, nature, and the constraints of social hierarchy. It is considered one of the earliest examples of English literature celebrating Valentine's Day. Yes. And in this way, my dear friends, Parliament of Fools is one of the major works by Geoffrey Chaucer. You have to keep in mind, you have to bear in mind. The next important work by Geoffrey Chaucer is The Legend of Good Women. Actually, like the Canterbury Tales, this is also unfinished work, and it consists of a series of poems featuring women from classical and medieval literature who were wronged by men but remained faithful and virtuous. The Legend of Good Women. Here, actually, Chaucer planned to present 20 legends but completed only 9. And after completing 9 stories, 9 legends, he left the work incomplete. In this way, The Legend of Good Women is one of the major works by Geoffrey Chaucer. The next important work by Geoffrey Chaucer is The Romaunt of the Rose. Actually, this work, The Romaunt of the Rose, is a translation. And it is a translation of a French allegorical poem entitled Roman de la Rose. This work, The Romaunt of the Rose, tells us the story of a young man's quest for love. It tells us the story of a young man's quest for love, and it has allegorical characters and it has symbolic imagery too. Friends, one important point you should keep in mind about Chaucer's literature is that Chaucer is a versatile writer and he tries his hand at different genres. That is, he does not continue writing in the single or one genre. He has written in different, he has tried his hand at different genres and he has used different styles also. And therefore, we can consider Geoffrey Chaucer as a versatile writer. Even though novel was not into existence at that time, at the time of Chaucer, novel as a form of literature, as a genre, was not into existence. Still, we find 2 stories in the Canterbury Tales in the form of prose. And therefore, if we call Geoffrey Chaucer a grandfather of English novel, it will not be exaggeration. That is, Chaucer is a versatile. He tries his hand at different types of genres and he employs different types of literary devices, and therefore Geoffrey Chaucer is, we cannot imagine English literature without Geoffrey Chaucer. Friends, although Chaucer did not complete the translation of Romain de la Rose. Whatever translation he has made, it reveals Chaucer's skill in adapting. That is, he does not adopt anything, any work as it is. He adapts it. And we find this feature in the writing of William Shakespeare also. That is, William Shakespeare's almost all the plays are based on the ancient stories, Greek myths, Roman stories. But William Shakespeare has reshaped them. He has adapted the stories. And similarly, Geoffrey Chaucer has also adapted the stories, and he has reshaped the existing material. This is one important feature of Geoffrey Chaucer you must know as a student of English literature. Friends, the next important work we can say is that he has written so many poems also. Chaucer has written so many shorter poems, and he is well known. He has written ballads, lyrics, and morals and satirical pieces. That is, he has tried his hand at different types of short poems also. That is, he has written ballads, he has written lyrics, and some moral and satirical poems as well. Some important titles, some important poems by him, which we can mention here in this lecture, are The Complaint of Chaucer to His Empty Purse. The title itself shows that the poem is perhaps satirical, it is comic. The next poem is To Rosamond, Truth and Gentleness. These are some worth mentioning poems, short lyrics, short poems by Geoffrey Chaucer you must know as a student of English language and literature. Friends, here these are the major works associated with Geoffrey Chaucer. He has spanned various genres. His writing spanned various genres and styles, showing his versatility and enduring influence on English literature. Friends, here in this video, we discussed important or major works by Geoffrey Chaucer. And these major works are: 1. The Canterbury Tales, a very famous work, masterpiece by Geoffrey Chaucer. 2. Troilus and Cressida, which is a tragic love story of Troilus and Cressida. It is a long narrative poem. 3. The Book of the Duchess, an elegy, written on the death of Blanche, the wife of John of Gaunt. The next one is The House of Fame. It is a dream vision, and here the narrator witnesses the whimsical and capricious nature of fame. It deals with the themes of truth and rumor and the power of words. The next work by Chaucer is Parliament of Fools. It is in the form of a debate. The next work is The Legend of Good Women. It is actually unfinished work. The next one is The Romance of the Rose, and he has written miscellaneous poems also. Numerous shorter poems Chaucer has composed. In this way, my dear friends, Chaucer has contributed these literary works to English literature. I hope that you might have understood this video. Friends, in our earlier videos, we have discussed Geoffrey Chaucer as a writer and the contribution of Geoffrey Chaucer to English literature. If you haven't watched these videos, please watch the videos again so that you can understand this video properly. If you want notes on this video, you can simply visit our website www.engageotech.com. If you want written notes or notes in the form of text, The link of the notes is given in the description box. You can simply click the link and find the notes. Thank you.